Rewordify is a tool that teachers and students can use to help understand difficult text passages found online. This site is free and doesn't require an account to use the basic features I'm going to show you today. So let's go ahead and take a look at this site. First, we'll go to rewordify.com. And when you first get to this site, you're going to want to take a look at the settings. So in the upper right-hand corner here. There are many different options for customizing the look of a rewordified passage. So the site gives you an example of what it will look like. So here's your sample, your original, and here's the sample output. So as we make changes along here, we can see what it's going to look like. So this is going to help you or your students find an output format that works best for you. So I'm going to click through each so you can see your options. So the display mode here, right now we have, it rewordified some hard words. So we have Sublime. It was originally Sublime. And if I click on Amazing, it says up here, Sublime. That was the original. You can also have students click on the speaker icon and it'll speak the word to you so they can hear how to say some of these more difficult words. Also, as you see, as I hover right below my cursor, my arrow, it does say the word Sublime, but it also gives Sublime and Amazing. So that's how it was rewordified. So that's one's output. If I click the next one, and it keeps the original word, I click on it and it gives me kind of like the definition or the word it would change to. I could display the hard word and the easier word in line. Oops, let's look at that again. Sorry. Hard word and easier word in line. So the hard word's in yellow, the easier word's in purple. I can show it in 2 columns. Here's your original output. Here's with the easier words. Or I could do the original out here, and here are our sample words similar to what you would see in a textbook, like a glossary off to the side. Let's also look at the levels down below here. The levels don't necessarily correlate with any sort of lexile number or specific reading level. So this is where students may need some additional guidance to find which level is best for them. The site's always going to default to level 1 here, unless you specify a different level. I would just go ahead and start there. If students are finding they already know all of the words or there's still some words they don't understand, you can always go back and adjust, and I'll show you how that is. So I'm going to keep it at level 1 because it is recognizing 6 words. So if I went all the way to the hardest, it's only going to recognize 1 word and rewordify 1 word. The last part here further customizes the look of the passage. Words can be color-coded, they can be underlined, or you can have no sort of markings at all. So after you've chosen what you want everything to look like, I'm going to do 2 columns, level 1, and then just keep the highlighting mode the same. Click Save and Close. All right, so I'm going to show you one way you can rewordify a passage. So it's simply copying and pasting a text into this yellow box right here. So I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to search for Clara Barton. As you can see, I've already kind of set that up. And I want to choose this civilwar.org site. And here it is right here. As I'm reading, I'm realizing I don't really understand everything the author is saying. So I'm going to highlight this passage here. I'm just going to do the first paragraph. I'm going to highlight this passage here. I'm going to copy it. You can copy here, or you can use Control C. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back into Rewordify. I'm going to paste it into the text here. You can right-click and paste. You can go up to here if you're in Chrome and paste, or you can use Control V and paste. After I put my text in there, I'm going to go ahead and click Rewordify Text. All right, so as you can see, Rewordify in this paragraph identified 4 words that they went ahead and changed. I'm looking at this in the 2-column view. I'm realizing it's a bit distracting. So I'm going to go ahead and go back up to settings right now. I'm going to change that. I don't want this 2-column view. I'm going to go ahead and reword the hard words, click tap to see the original. So I'm going to do it like that. But I also want to note here that the level section looks a little different than it did before. It's identifying the number of words it's changing for the reader. So as you can see, the easiest and level 1 are the same because they're changing 4 words. They're changing the same 4 words. Levels 2 and level 3 are the same. They've chosen 2 words. And level 4 and the hardest have not changed any of the words. So I'm going to keep it at 4 words for right now. And now that I've made my changes, I'm going to click Save and Close and see what happened. So the text is still rewordify, the site just changed the format for me. So if I click here, I see, oh, that was supplemented before, which means increased or added. There is another way that you can go ahead and rewordify. Actually, I'm going to go back and just show you if I chose a harder level. If I go to level 3 and hit Save and Close, now I have supplemented, still is there, and philanthropy is also there. So it's changed two of the words. It took away a couple of the other ones that were for a lower reading level. There is an option for copying and pasting a URL in the box rather than a full text. I'm not going to go very much in depth about that because one, you can view just the text in the site, or you can view the whole passage as is, the whole page, the whole web page. But a couple things that I've run into when I've done this is it doesn't recognize hyperlinks. So if there are words that have a link to another site, it doesn't rewordify it and sometimes just replaces it with the word link, which is not very helpful. You also can't adjust how it looks. It pretty much only gives the option of clicking on the new word and seeing the original word. And it also doesn't work very well on the encyclopedia sites. And so if you're using this for research, you're going to mostly be hopefully using some encyclopedia sites or some more that are more reliable, and they're not going to rewordify very well. There are still some benefits to using this newer feature. However, I think to start with your students, I would just have them copy and paste the text they need adjusted. So there are several ways you can use this tool in the classroom. One, it's a great differentiation tool. Students have some control about their level, about how it's going to be viewed, so they can kind of make some learning decisions for themselves as to the best way possible to use this tool. It's also going to really help when students are researching and they're accessing more difficult text. So there are a bunch of other features that are a part of the site, especially because this site focuses on increasing vocabulary. Feel free to create an account and explore some of their additional features. At this time, though, only teachers can create an account. Students may not have an account on this site yet. But as always, if you need additional support for using this tool, your LRC director and ISCs are available to you. I'm also available. You can just shoot me an email and I can come in and show you how to use it or model it with your students.